I'm lucky that I sit at the National Communication Center, where we deposit and advise on a few matters and look at how the economy of the country is doing. Mm-hmm. You know, when you're carrying out research or you are making a comparison, at least there must be grounds for your comparison. Senator Okech was looking at Kenya as at June last year, that was 2024. I usually look at Kenya when we are talking about this current government as at June 2022. Mm-hmm. When you talk about economy, and I've said this severally, you must look at our status, the status of Kenyan economy as at June 2022. That was just 2 months before election, and that was 3 months before President Ruto took over power. Basically, when people campaign with manifestos, people campaign with the Kenya Kwanza government had its agenda on what it wanted to do. And it had 5 pillars that it campaigned on. And that was agriculture, health, the digital superhighway, housing, and the SMEs. That is purely what they campaigned on. And you remember, as much as many Kenyans want now to say, it's just unga. What is unga? But one of our major areas of campaign as at 2022 June was unga, where government was struggling even to subsidize the price of unga. And you know what government has done? I know many people take it to be petty when you say government subsidized fertilizer. We were able to get larger acreages. We were lucky also, the weather was fair. Yeah. And the production has been good. So our basic food here is kaunga, what Ugandans call kaunga, ugali. That is what we eat most. And you find that this has done fairly well. Even when you go to the coffee sector, you go to the tea sector, though we had a bit of a hitch on tea, the production was high, but we have had a lot of tea in the port of Mombasa, which had not been exported because of the international market. And I think government has been working hard to work with partners so that the tea can be taken. But we produced a lot of tea, we've produced a lot of coffee. Government is doing a lot to do with issues of hides and skins. I believe you come from the northern region, unless you are born locally here. But
he's referring to me.
Yes. Ahmed Haji.
Go ahead.
That was one area of their campaign, which they have done very well. The government promised to do about 100,000 kilometers of digital superhighway, meaning that we are trying to improve on our connectivity. The world has gone digital in many ways. Even the health he's talking about, the issue of the health sector. But we need the digital connectivity across the country in order for that process to be done well. The issues of housing, you've just seen the Minister for Housing, Alice, Waziri Alice, talking about the number of houses that have been built. Yeah. Around Mkuru, I think very soon they are going to we are going to have a number of Kenyans who are living in the slums getting into those houses. And the digital superhighway is very important because even those who are in parliament, we are supposed to be having about 1,450 digital hubs in all wards. And I think MPs have gotten money for doing the 290 digital hubs. So if you look at the general campaign agenda for Kenya Kwanza, I think the president is on the right track. Just the other day, Kenyans report on status of economy internationally has improved. Okay. We have been paying our loans. We have not defaulted in the loans that we have been paying. And you know very well that one of our biggest problems is that, as at that time, our biggest problem is the amount of loans that we have was taking up to about 70% of our GDP. And we have to struggle and pay. We cannot start blaming the former president for what we did. But as a nation, we need to accept that we have done fairly well. Kenya is on the right track. There may be small issues here and there, but the problem we are facing is guys who have been weaponized, like who would not want to unite the country. Yes, we may have our differences, and there is nothing wrong for those in opposition to point out weaknesses.
Okay.